I'm sorry to tell you this, but the market is not predictable anymore. Every day is getting harder and harder to understand where the price of a cryptocurrency is gonna go. And I have seen hundreds of traders follow the right steps and still lose. Not because they were wrong, but because big players control the game. Crypto is not the same as it used to be a few years ago. Big institutions have billions of dollars under their management and they can decide if a cryptocurrency is gonna go up or down in value. So guessing the next move is getting very stressful. And even if you do everything right, most of the time it's not gonna work. That is when everything changes. What if you can profit from these ups and downs of the market? You wouldn't need a perfect timing to get in, just movement, price action, something that is guaranteed to happen. That is what grid bots do. They profit from the volatility of the market. But you need to have the right system, just like we help one of our CVA members, Andres, implement it. That being said, let me show you how you can also take advantage of it. Let's get started. What makes this bot extremely profitable is going to be the volatility of the market. So crypto is a market that is extremely volatile. As you probably have noticed in the last couple of weeks, Bitcoin has been jumping on and off from 90,000, from 87,000 to 82,000, and we have been in that range. So if you're holding crypto, you're kind of like, what the hell is going on? Because there is too much going on right now in crypto. But actually, these are the times where our bots are getting an insane return because of those consistent ups and downs. Now, what we're looking for is coins that have been moving sideways for years. We don't care about the price going up in value. We are not looking for the next Bitcoin. We're not looking for a coin that is gonna 10x, 20x, 50x in value. We're looking for something that has been moving sideways for a very long time. To give you a bit of context with this coin, I have never seen it, but if I take a look at it, back in 2023, the price was $1.78, and now the price is $2.70. So, but during that time frame, the coin was moving in a range for over a year, as you can see here, without necessarily going up in value, but instead going up and down consistently. So yeah, that's how we are going to profit. We're going to go through some of the coins. I'll show you what are some of the things we're going to be looking for, and then I will help you set them up. Notice how 90% of cryptocurrencies will follow Bitcoin. Our goal is to find those coins that are still moving sideways, even though crypto or Bitcoin is going down in value. So that is what we want to really achieve here. We always find them. The first thing in the systematic approach is finding the coin. So
do you find the coins, Emilio, every day?
we don't find coins every day. That is why we have the winner list. I'm showing you the systematic approach on how I find the coins. But to make this easier, we're going to go to the winner list and let's get into the practical stuff. So actually setting up the bot. We're going to take a look into what are the winner tokens we have, and then we're going to do the setup. Okay, so this is one of the best performer ones that we have, DAR, and you can tell because it has been moving sideways for a longer time frame. So it has actually been moving sideways for almost 1,000 days. And it has a lot of ups and downs. So if you have a bot running that is consistently trading in something that is not going to go up in value anyway, but instead moving in a range, then you have a money-making machine, pretty much. As you understand so far, crypto is one of the most volatile markets in the world. So if you can have an automated trading system that profits from this volatility, you can easily average a 12 to 16% a month consistently by using something that is already guaranteed to happen, which is price action anyway. If you only implement this, you will get to the next level. All right, let's get back into the video. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and set up this one. So notice how most of the players that are very, very profitable, they tend to have a lot of weeks. So we won't be taking into consideration these weeks. So it's actually gonna be somewhere around here.
You don't go to the maximum resistance and maximum support because you need to trade in other range. Otherwise, we don't make money. No, if you are waiting to jump from this support and resistance at the extreme level, you don't make money. You need to have the getting in and out in an area where more often it goes up and down.
Exactly. Yeah, you get it. So we cannot cover way too much price action because then the investment is going to be spreading too many grid levels. So every transaction will have just a little bit of profit. The profit will be fairly small. So we're going to set up this as the grid range and this as our grid, as our resistance. So once we have identified the resistance and the support, we're going to use this tool called the price range, and this is going to tell us our grid range or price action in percentage that the bot will be trading with. So in this case, it's a 43%. Okay. This is the first step, Andres, because you have the coin gonna be there. We have the grid range, 43%. Now we getting into the backtesting, and that is how you figure out the number of grid levels.
But the grid levels are also depending on how much risk somebody wants to take, no?
Not necessarily. Grid levels don't define the risk. What defines the risk is going to be the grid range. Because you can say, I want to be very aggressive with this bot and just cover at 20%. Every trade is going to be worth more because there are less grid levels. But if you want to be more conservative, you can say, I want to cover a 70%. We kind of shoot for in the middle, somewhere that is fairly conservative, but also it is great for performance. Yep, we're just gonna do some basic back testing. We're gonna do from here. We're gonna do sideways, so we're gonna probably do this time frame. So about 116 days worth of trading of back testing. So I'm just gonna move this one here. Then I will define the parameters on the indicator. So the start date for the back testing, again, this is just to figure out the optimum grid levels. It's going to be here on the 6th of October. And then we're going to finish the back testing somewhere around here on the 10th of February. So that is going to get us 130 days worth of data, which is more than enough. We don't really need more. That's enough for us to have an estimation of how much profit this bot can make.
Do you set a time limit?
Usually yes, but sometimes I just backtest until the current date. It depends on what we're backtesting. So it's going to be the upper limit. We know it's going to be the 0.174 because that is a high price. And the lower limit is going to be this one right here, the 0.099. So all we gotta do is open up the settings of the backtester and click them right here. So upper limit 0.174, lower limit 0.099. And that's it. There we go. The backtester is working. Oh, one more thing. So it's going to be the trailing up. And we got the settings all rolling. The last thing we do is we go to a smaller time frame just to read the data more accurately. And this is what we got. So if we read this together, it's going to be in 127 days worth of trading with pure volatility, nothing special going on. The price didn't go up. It remained sideways. We got an 86% return in about or of 0.49% daily. Just to give you a bit of context, hopefully this helps understand how powerful the strategy is. Moshe, we helped him set up this bot in a 15K investment. He made about 25%.
Emilio, are you going to set a few positions now in the bot, or?
Yeah, I'll be taking care of that now.
And tell us how to connect it with Coinbase and move the money.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing that now. So now notice how the indicator is telling you the settings. So we have the grid step percentage of 2.85, we have the grid range of 43, and then we have the metrics like total PNL, average daily, and total days traded. All we do now, once everything is on place, we're going to double click on the indicator and we're going to start optimizing for grid levels. This is going to be the last step, by the way. So how we do it is we test the 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 grid levels, and then we choose the grid levels that are getting us the highest PNL. Let's go ahead and increase this to 30, and then we're going to read the data one more time. So we went from 86 to 114 by increasing the number of grid levels from 20 to 30. So with 30 grid levels, we're getting a 114% PNL in 127 days without using a 1.89% grid step percentage. So the profit the bot is making in every transaction is still going to be higher than the fee that Coinbase is charging. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head back to Bitscap. We're going to select the grid bots, and then we will do the cryptocurrency. So it's going to be DAR USD. We're going to pick the investment. So we're going to go ahead and do 5. So now we pick the exchange, obviously. We pick the pair, DAR. Now, what we're going to pick is going to be the settings. So if we focus back on the table, we see that the grid range is 43%, right? So resistance to support, we're going to go ahead and do the same here, except we're not going to identify them anymore. All we're going to do is we're going to click on the price range tool, and we're going to click a little bit of market price all the way down until that number hits at 43%. There we go. And this price is going to be a little bit above market price. Then all we do is we readjust. So from high price, it's going to be right here. Low price is going to be here. And then we come back to our table and we see 30 grid levels. So we're going to go ahead and in the grid level section, we're going to input the 30 grid levels. And this is how it should look by the end. Yeah. So we have the grid range, we have the grid levels we figure out are going to perform the best based on the back testing. We have the futures like trading up on, pump protection on. We're going to leave this off because we don't need them, but trailing up is necessary because what it's going to do is that when the price of the cryptocurrency starts going up in value, the grid range is automatically going to adjust itself to the new price. So it's very important. We're just going to go ahead and click on continue, just reviewing that everything is making sense here. I'll probably just decrease this one. And 1 second, click on continue, and then we're going to start the bot. That is how you do it. So you're just going to let it run. We're not going to touch it. We're not going to modify any of the settings. Is there any questions you guys have about the setup? Or I know we went through a lot, and I understand if it can feel a bit overwhelming. That's why we have the weekly calls and stuff. But the good thing is that once the bot is set up, there is absolutely nothing you have to do to it. Now, if you want help setting up this automated trading bot, click the first link in the description and book a call, and we will see how we could help you set up the same automated trading system that earns Mosh close to 25% in a month, or that it's going to earn Andres an average of 0.85% every single day through the volatility of the market. That being said, we have limited spots, and if you see the wait list, please be patient, and we will let you know when we have spots open. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.